If you woke up tomorrow with all the financial wisdom you wished you had learned in school, no more financial stress, just freedom and peace of mind. I'm diving into money lessons I wish I learned in school, and I'm challenging myself to apply them in just the next year. Let's transform our financial future together. Let's face it, the traditional school often fails when it comes to teaching us about money management for the most part. We are left to figure it out on our own, which can lead to some pretty serious consequences down the line. When you don't know how to manage your finances, it can lead to a lot of debt, poor saving habits, and just a general sense of financial insecurity, at least from my experience. And you might be finding yourself living paycheck to paycheck, wondering where all your money is going or stressing about how you're going to pay off some debts like credit card bills as well. Many of us have been there, and it's not a fun place to be. Trust me. We are not alone in this struggle. Millions of people around the world are struggling to make ends meet. And it's often because of lack of financial knowledge, at least from my experience. Overall, if I look at the US statistics, just to back this up, just the credit card alone for the second quarter of 2024, an average credit card debt for an American was $7,236, up from 7,130 in the second quarter. That includes debt from the bank cards and retail credit cards, right? Now, this was the household debt for the credit card report in Q3 2024. Now, according to TransUnion, an average credit card debt borrower for Q2 this year in 2024 in Canada was 6,329. So that's a lot of debt. And the issue with credit card debt is that on average, people pay about, let's say, 20% per year. So think of it if you were making that money yourself, if you had invested that money. But in this case, you are paying maybe Visa, MasterCard, or other credit card fees for utilizing those credit cards. So the challenging thing is that I grew up in Zimbabwe, immigrated to Canada, but even with a master's degree in economics, I didn't learn about credit cards, about things like personal finance, like details. Of course, I did a bit of things at a macro level, like budgeting, forecasting, right? Which I can easily apply to those things. But the thing with personal finance is that there are some behavioral components about it. For example, some people may feel like just wanting to go out and eat on the credit card without even thinking through how that could impact their finances. So at the end of the day, I realized that it's very, very important to make smart financial decisions. Otherwise, you would be left to wing it, and then that can be a recipe for disaster. Now, these are the key lessons that I have learned as I have been living in Canada and also just talking to clients and reading what's really going on. Number one, budgeting is very, very important. Not just making a spreadsheet, but being conscious about balancing your expenses versus the money that you get income streams, right? Be it salary or money from dividends or whatever income streams that you may have. That's a very, very pivotal step. Now, I often tell my clients, of course, it differs from time to time, and I don't provide investment advice. But when we discuss one challenging thing in general, is that some people just want to start investing without them building an emergency fund. But what then happens is if the market drops and you don't have the emotional stamina to understand what's really going on. Like today, I'm recording this video, the S&P 500, at least a SPY that tracks the S&P 500, it dropped by over almost 3% today. But is it a normal fluctuation in the market? I don't know. But what I have observed is that if you have an emergency fund, for me, I'm not going to panic over that drop. Maybe it's just a market correction or it is going to drop further. But the idea is that if I have an emergency fund, I have some savings, I have other income streams, then I can then take that opportunity to start investing in the market. Now, another important concept is that, did you know that starting investing at 25 instead of 35, you could save nearly over $500,000 over the long term if you are looking at the retirement, assuming a 7% return? The idea is compound interest, right? It accelerates, the return on that investment. Now, credit card scores is another lesson for me. I grew up in Zimbabwe. I didn't have access to credit cards. Then I came here, credit cards as a student, and then eventually after graduating, I had access to credit card. But the issue is that if you don't manage the credit card debt, it can spiral out of hand, and then you start paying those interest rates that are sometimes not of 15%, right? So financial planning is another point. To just sit down, understand how the money is coming in and going out, and also thinking about retirement. 33% of Canadians, just 33% of adults in Canada have a detailed financial plan, to just think of like, how much money would I need to retire? In Canada, we have old age security, also have, Canada pension plan if you're contributing, or if you're employed or semi-employed and contributing, and other options that can kind of like provide a cushion. But the thing is, sometimes you need to sit down and understand those numbers. That's why there are financial advisors to help you through that. And I'm happy to sit down with you if you want help on that. Now, another important concept I have learned is just living below my means has been something that is very phenomenal. Or another way is to say, if I want an expensive lifestyle, I have to find ways that can fund that lifestyle. For example, I can trade, I can have dividends income, and then use that money from those investments, right? Those cash flows, to then live a lifestyle rather than living paycheck to paycheck. Now, these are the key things that I have learned, right? But in conclusion, I am challenging myself to apply these lessons in 2025, and I will document this journey and share with you along the way, right? And then if you want more details, then we can learn and grow together. Feel free to ask me. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you could also share your thoughts about financial education in the comments below, that would be very awesome. I would love to hear from you. And also any other personal finance tips that you have. Thank you so much, and be sure to check out the next video on this channel. And also don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more insights. And feel free to join my free weekly newsletter on www.streetwiseeconomics.com for financial insights that is exclusive to those readers. Let's take control of our finances before they control us. See you in the next video. Thank you again, and bye-bye for now. May the markets be on your side.